Oh, snaps. Yeah.
At least they're all going to be like, that's so cute, they all laugh. They all bond.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Hello, everyone.
Find out what we're
Do
talking about.
we say our names? Or
Yeah.
We,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here we are. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on our live. We plan to do this once a week, so lucky you guys. Yay. I am Mama Santee from Mama Santee's house with the beautiful, some of my favorite ladies here. We got, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Holly. I'm the massage therapist, and I also do sound bowls.
Hi, I'm Izzy. I do card readings. I'm an intuitive psychic.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I do Reiki as well and sound bowls.
Yes, so we are super excited to be here today. The topic that we are going to be talking about is heal yourself, heal the world. Why? Why heal yourself to heal the world, and what that means to each one of us, and why that is the motto of Mama Santee's house. So who wants to start?
Well, Kristen and I are kind of along the same theme as far as healing ourselves and quitting corporate world. We have decided to do crystals and candles because it makes us happy.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. I didn't think about part of my healing and in that space being leaving the corporate world. That's been a big part of my mental space. Healing and also really focusing on my food intake, vitamins and supplements, and then everything spiritual, the crystals and the candles. Implementing all kinds of sound healings and energy work into my healing, and it's mind, body, spirit all tied together.
And also just being in this space. Mama Santee has provided a beautiful house where we can come, that's a safe space to come and relax and be together as a community.
And build each other up, and when you come into Mama Santee's house, that's just it. You're coming here to heal yourself. We're not healing you. And I think that, I love that you guys bring up leaving the corporate world, because I feel like it's not necessary to leave the corporate world. However, if it's affecting your health and it's affecting the way that you can heal yourself, maybe it's time to really go within and do a check-in. Like, is this job feeding me or making me sick, Izzy?
So I have found my healing through, like with Mama Santee and every beautiful woman here, empowerment. So instead of going to someone for, like, as Santee said, this is my healer, this is someone who does things for me, every single person here teaches the other person how they can do that themselves. And that could be supplements, that could be leaving the corporate world, that could be candles and crystals. For me, it's looked like building self-confidence and self-esteem, coming from the background I came from, being kind of like a bigger girl, you kind of like walking with insecurities, but part of that healing is changing your mindset, changing the limiting beliefs, and that changes how people not only interact with you in the world, but also just your perception on the world as well. Like, you become a more loving individual when you understand loving yourself.
Right, and that's just it too, because you have to go inside of yourself and see where are those limitations and where are we putting things outside of ourselves, rather than going within and doing that check-in and pulling things up and out and really thinking about ourselves and how we move through the world.
And when you're on the massage table, you're in a place that's safe and you're in a place that's loved.
And in a place in body, a massage really brings you into your body. And then you can let go and go somewhere else. Yeah, I freaking love that. So yeah, to me, heal yourself, heal the world is just that. Like, going within. I'm going to start healing myself from within, because when we shift and we heal ourselves from within, the world around us completely changes.
It does.
Completely changes. We're no longer pointing fingers. Hey, this person did this to me, or hey, I am traumatized because of this situation that happened in my life. We're literally going within and we're seeing where we can love on ourselves and really shift out of that trauma
Headspace.
to really grow and prosper, and then we see it on the outside of ourselves too, like in our family line. Like one thing that's happening with me going in and healing myself and really not trying to fix people, just going within and continue to heal myself, has really shown me like my family line is healing as well. Like my mother, my brother, like, oh my gosh, I'm just like, wow, this is incredible, you know. Instead of me trying to fix everyone, I'm fixing myself, and then it's showing in
everyone else.
Yeah.
And
So
when you
how
have
beautiful.
so much love inside, it just bubbles up, and then you share the love, and it's contagious. So
Yes.
love just keeps on spreading.
Beautiful. I freaking love that. So, I mean, to heal yourself, like, how did you guys first, like, what happened to where you were like, oh, snaps, I really got to heal myself, instead of, you know, what did that look like, I guess?
Yeah, my journey started with talk therapy. So I was working with therapists for 5 to 7 years, really in a place too, wanting to understand what's going on with me, but still in a space of looking outside of myself and wanting people to do for me and tell me what's wrong with me. And that's just morphed over the years into finding different modalities through spirituality, and there's so many healing modalities out there. So I've been very drawn to energy work. So getting into the space of working with shamans, and other energy healers. And then I'm very much a person of, this seems like something that I can do for myself. So it kind of splintered off into that path. How can I start to learn to do this for myself? And so that's where I've taken my healing, and it's turned into, these are the things that I do for myself, and it's shifted my perspective and my outside world completely. And then people start, you know, coming to you and asking, what are you doing?
Right.
How are
you're
you?
different.
Your
Yes.
smile is so large. They want to know, how are you so happy and
It's-
full of
yes,
joy?
Yeah, full of joy. It's like your heart shines through, you know,
Yeah.
and people see you rather than
Yeah. And I don't
facade.
have to do anything to elicit, you know, I'm not going out trying to help and heal people. People are attracted to the
Resonating.
energy.
Yeah.
So that's been my journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say with my journey, I come from a family of Latin culture where there's a lot of, this is what you're supposed to do. So I was taught, this is how you live your life. You're going to be a good wife. You're going to be a good mother. And they teach you a square that you need to kind of fit into. For me, my healing has looked like, well, who am I? Trusting myself. Because I think we all kind of grow up with our parents telling us, we look up to our parents, right? And they tell us, well, this is what you need to know. This is what you need to do in life. And I think there comes a point in our lives where we have to decide, what is what my parents taught me? How does that fit into my life? And what do I want? Not just what I want, but who am I as a person? Is what my dad is teaching me really what I resonate with? And so my healing has really looked like, as Santee says, going within.
I love that too, how you said, who am I?
Exactly. Because a lot of our beliefs, our programming, right, is what we were taught. And so at what point do we continue to feed those programs, which feeds our reality? And at what point do we pivot and start listening to self? And that is a journey. That's not something that just you start one day and you stop. I think it's something that forever you're always asking, okay, who am I? Who do I want to be? And it gets a little messy in between sometimes when you're trying to be the person you've always been and then get to the person that you want to be. And I think it's important for people to know it's okay for it to be messy, to not know, to get lost, to cry. You know, that's healing, guys. It's not that, oh, I'm just happy, and no, it's the in between as well. It's where we grow.
Yeah, like
other
shadow
side.
work, you know, the shadow work, you know, and I like to call that too, like the cycles or the glitching. It's almost like you glitch back because you're so in a habitual
Exactly.
mindset that, you know, when you shift out, you kind of glitch back a little
Exactly.
bit. But it's because you're really like integrating and you're just really shifting and ascending and evolving into
Exactly.
who you are. Who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a physical accident back in 1999 where I was hit by a car and hurt my back. And when I went to go see a chiropractor, the massage therapist there said, well, why don't you join me for a Reiki night? And so I said, okay, I'm open to that. And when I went, the Reiki master put his hand on my shoulder went up and all the pain went out. And I was like, whatever you did, just sign me up. So since 1999, I have been working with Reiki and energy healing, and that, you know, when you're doing energy healing, it does include a lot of the shadow work. And when you're physically not vibrating with where you should be, or it causes you to think twice. And so by having to heal myself physically from the accident, that's how I got into massage. So I figured if I might as well learn what I need to do to take care of myself than putting it in the hands of somebody else. So that's how my journey started.
Yes, that's beautiful. And then healing myself. I mean, there's so many different aspects for me of healing. One thing that I learned and I would like to say is it's, you know, definitely, as you were saying before, it's the mind, body, and spirit together. There's the mind, body, and spirit of the mind, body, and spirit of the body, and the mind, body, and spirit of the spirit. For me, really, well, Mama Santee's house came about because I had to heal myself in and out of doctors. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. However, even as a kid, people are like, it's your imagination, all that stuff. And so I just really, you know, kind of stopped and was like, wait a second. Wait a second. There's something to this. And so I really had to go within. And, you know, what really enlightened me was, I want to say in 2020, I literally could not eat or drink anything. And nobody knew what was going on, the doctors, my healers. So I was referred to a university doctor, and I was like, don't you want to know how I'm not in the hospital? He said, enlighten him. So I did. I told him all of the supplements I was taking. And he said, wow, sounds like you have a pharmacy. And I was like, you know what? You are correct. I thank you for your time. I'm not going to take anything that you prescribe to me. I call up one of our very good friend and healers as well, Danielle Lee 333, and was like, I'm ready. But I was working with them and Marie at the same time, and an energy healer as well, because energy is everything. Everything is energy at a different frequency. So, you know, it's like super important, the body, the mind, the clear channel, the spirit, and everything. So then it just like, you know, as I was clearing and cleaning my body up, I just became really in tune, and then my body started talking to me. Hey girl, you need freaking protein. Hey girl, you need some antioxidants, you know? And then I'm like, what is an antioxidant? And doing research, you know, because in my meditation or prayer, whatever you want to call it, things would come up, or my body check-ins, my body telling me, hey, I need this today. I need that today. Hey, I don't need anything today. You just need to drink some water, girl, you know? And so, you know, fasting is super duper important as well. So, and it's like, you kind of jump in and then you kind of backtrack a little bit, just because, like you were saying, it's that shift, it's that glitch, and you really want to fully understand what is happening, why it's happening, and what is going on inside of you to really heal yourself.
and feel it.
And feel it, yeah.
Don't just keep on pushing it down or pushing it away.
Right.
Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but if you listen, you get the answer.
Exactly, and feeling through those emotions. We're here in the 3D, like we're emotionally driven beings, but
Yeah.
we ask for strength through our emotions, right? So we really need to lean into those emotions that we're feeling. We're not stuffing them down, and then stuffing them down, they cause a muck, and then they get stuck in a muscle or an organ.
Yep.
And this is legit stuff, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It really gets stuck
Yeah.
and needs to be released and moved around and stuff
That's
like
how
that.
disease is born.
Exactly,
Dis-ease.
dis-ease. So it's really important for all of us to have like our team of healers, and then we have our toolkit. You know,
Yeah.
that these healers, they help us to heal ourselves so that the world around us can heal as well and shift with us and ascend with us and evolve with us. Because we don't take everything with us as we're evolving and shifting. You know, we take what is necessary for us at
And our highest good.
and our highest good at that time. All in love, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And I think your example of, you know, how you've healed yourself, and it truly is the motto of Mama Santee's house: heal yourself, heal the world. And once you start, you know, putting your health in your own hands and building your healing team, and you start to change, and then you start to see, you know, the closest people around you start to change, and that's really how you can impact or have a greater impact to heal the world, whether it's your local world or, you know, bigger
Massive.
and bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so that's really
I
beautiful.
love that. You know, I want to bring something else into play too, because when we're going inside and healing ourselves to heal the world, we're literally healing ourselves in other worlds as well. We're healing ourselves at a multi-dimensional level.
Yeah.
You know, and we're like calling our soul back to here and now. That's why it's so important to go inside and go within to that 0 point. So you're like, where am I? Here I am, you know? So, yeah. Lovely. Wow, we talked about that pretty dang quick. No rabbit trails today on this beautiful Venus day. Right?
So something I'd like to bring up with healing that I've seen, because a lot of us are talking about how we attract things once we start shifting. So a lot of people these days talk about manifestation, right? So manifestation, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to write things in a journal, right? I'm going to do all these practices. I'm going to do these meditations to manifest. I have found that the best way to manifest and attract anything is gratitude.
Yeah,
Which is
for
just,
sure.
right? Which is just adjacent to love, which is also a Mama Santee's, you know,
Yeah.
belief and what she like teaches out to the world is if you're coming from that space of love, you're
Right,
not-
and that's not to say, I mean, you can still be pissed off and be like, I'm so freaking thankful! Oh, you know? I'm thankful for this lesson! Ah! You know, because we do have to feel those emotions,
Yes.
but once we start really being mindful about the verbiage and
The
everything,
effect,
Yeah.
right.
the power of our
The
words.
power, and the power to shift and manifest and really attract,
Yeah.
the love.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think everyone can say this week that full moon, everyone's had everything just like shift,
Yeah.
and you have to sit in those gross emotions or like that anger and figure out where that's coming from.
Right.
Shed a tear or two.
Yeah, follow that
Five.
thread. Where is that anger coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the real healing.
Yes.
It's not pretty.
No, it's ugly,
it can
messy.
be painful.
Yeah.
And I've always heard, like the
ugly
analogy, like if you have a broken bone, that's not comfortable, and it's not going to feel good to
Walk on
put it
pressure
back in place and mend it. But that's kind of what we're doing in the mental, spiritual space.
Yeah, restructuring.
Everything's
Right.
you
We're
know.
unraveling, and then we're like fitting things where they need to go.
Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's why it's the body, mind, and spirit of healing. A lot of people forget about the spiritual because I don't even know why. Like, why? You know?
I didn't grow up with, well,
the word God in
the
your
word God. I didn't grow up with religion, and certainly, you know, what I've come to learn now looking back, I've always been tied into spirituality, but I didn't know what it was. I thought that religion and spirituality were the same, but I've learned very much differently, in this path. So that's a separate rabbit hole.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Venture
True.
down another time.
Right.
But yeah, so I was never aware of what spirit or spirituality was until, I started going within and healing.
So what do you guys think that spirit is in the body? In our body, like what does that look like? The spiritual aspect of the body. This body, that body you're in, that body you're in, that body you're in.
I feel like it's the light that shines through. It's the highest expression of emotion for me, joy, and just happiness.
Kristen Joy, she's here every Friday.
Yeah, I feel like it's that inner illumination that comes through, and you can really see it in people.
Yeah, for me, I think it's peace and having quiet in my brain. Is you're just able to sit and not be distracted or pulled in every direction. And because I always operate from heart space, just that love vibration.
I have a really weird concept of that.
I love that.
To me, spirit has become higher self, subconscious. A lot of what I've studied, like psychology and with past life regressions, is that connection to higher self, which to me, I think it's cool to think that it's the subconscious. So spirit is always speaking to us and is always connected to us, and that's why we hear things like you're never alone, and it's that mind, body, spirit connection. It's so often we go outside of ourselves to find spirit when spirit really just is within, and we just have to figure out what that connection looks like.
Yeah, that's me. So spiritual spirit to me in the body essence is that spark of divine. That spark of divine, and then in the body it utilizes this biosuit or this body to speak to us.
The meat suit.
Yeah, the
exactly.
meat suit, it's like, hey, like the chills, why do you have chills on just your legs? It's that spirit like speaking through to us, because I also feel like the spirit can touch things like 6 to 9 feet outside of ourselves, because our auric field and stuff as well. So, it gets in first through there and then touches in our body, and our gut instinct will tell us, and then the mind chimes in, hey, that's spirit in the body to me. That's why I love massages with Holly, because you really engulf the whole entire room in your heart space and the heart frequency, and I can just be in my body and then let go, So it's really nice to be in body too, because I feel like it's almost like if you would think about it in a macro level, like the earth, like to be in my body is like to be in the center of the earth and just at rest, at that rest point.
Yeah.
So massages are really great for that embodied spiritual aspect as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I second everyone's.
What she said.
Because it's all of it. It's all of
It
that.
is.
Uh-huh.
It is all of
Yeah.
that. It's really cool. Yeah, I freaking love you guys so much.
We
love you.
Yeah, and we love all of you. We really
Yes.
do. We hold a space and love for everyone in the entire world, because we're all on this world together. We're all in it together, and
Exactly.
here we go on a journey within. When it's funny, I just remembered a story I was telling my dad. Because when you go on that journey within, it's like, where you want to go? You want to go to Egypt? Okay, I'm going to go to Egypt by going within my heart space. You want to go to Jupiter? Let's go. You can go to Jupiter. You can really go anywhere you want by going within.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah. What else?
I'm seeing a connection of the mind, body, spirit here, like how we all specialize. Like Holly, body, mind, spirit. Yeah. So like, how did everybody get into their specialties? How did you find your way to spirituality, to what you love?
Oh, I'll start. So actually, I used to be in the restaurant industry, the bar industry, the club industry, and just because I really love making people happy and everything like that. However, it got real, do I want to do this?
Yeah.
So I ventured into massage, and holy cow, that just like really activated me and opened up everything. I started remembering how we heal ourselves with these ancient methods, and that's how I got started.
I went to school to become a physical therapist, and I was really discouraged because the health insurance companies will only let you do so much. So I would see people in pain, and I knew if I was able to touch them or do some kind of massage, I could have relieved their pain. But the insurance company would tell me I could only put them on a bike for 10 minutes. And it was very frustrating. So I started to do the massage, and it's amazing to have that instant gratification. When somebody gets off the table, they're smiling, they want a hug, and they were at peace. And I was able to offer that to them. So that's mine.
I'm super grateful. The way that things kind of started for me was through Santee on the etheric side. I didn't know that at the time. But also Danielle Lee Wellness. She came up to me at DivCon and was just like, "Hey, you're psychic." And I was like, "No, I'm not." And just both of them opening my eyes to everything I had always known. Santee one day came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you know what QHHT is?" And I was like, "No." So I start researching past life regressions and just working with all of you. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm grateful for all of you because you've all been puzzle pieces to my giant puzzle of who I am, remembering who we are. So my journey started with two beautiful psychics being like, "Hey, we see you," and just helping me discover what that looked like within myself.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
your gift just keeps on blossoming.
Woo, girl!
Yeah.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
For me, kind of similar. It's been tied in with Holly and Santee. I was doing having energy work done on me in the years past, and I got to a point where I'm like, I need to figure out how to do this for myself. And so I had connected with Holly because I knew that she did Reiki. And so I was looking for a way to, how do you learn how to do Reiki? And she connected me with Santee and Mama Santee's house. And, a couple months later, courses were offered. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why, and this is how Spirit speaks to me too, is there's a reason why I wasn't finding courses online for Reiki. I was meant to take it with Santee, and then, just practicing the Reiki on myself, and it's just opened doors for that into more energy modalities through shamanic practices, and most recently sound bowls. So it's just things keep presenting themselves, and with
Divine timing also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a year ago, we weren't necessarily, well, I think we just had our
All of
1 year
us.
anniversary
Yeah.
of coming together.
Yeah.
But it was baby steps. We were all on
Yes.
different paths, and then it all came together, and
Yeah.
now we're family.
Yeah.
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 100%.
Yeah.
And it's just growing every day.
Yeah. Definitely. Awesome. Well, this is fabulous. I really love getting on here and chatting about stuff. And so we will definitely be going live. Are we going to do lives every Friday, or what are we going to do?
I'm happy with Fridays.
Film Fridays?
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
it looks
Film
like
Fridays.
so it looks like we'll be doing Film Fridays every Friday, 11:11 Pacific time. We are in California.
In our new space.
In our new space. We'd love for you to join us, join in the topics. We're going to talk about everything. Ghosts. I'm an alien. I'm an alien. Oh yeah, baby. Like, you know, we're gonna go get weird. I want to get weird.
Yeah.
It's time to get weird.
Yes.
You know, there is a lot of information inside of us that needs to come up and out. And there's a lot of information out there confirming the information that is coming up and out from the inside. However, of course, you take what aligns and you leave what doesn't, you know, but those are your confirmations. Even if the information fully didn't resonate, you still got your confirmation as to what came up from within.
Yep.
So we are here to trigger you, excite you, dance with you, and just be love. Right?
Yeah, and authentic.
And authentic.
Yes.
Authenticity
For sure.
is, you know, even if it's premature, the information or whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
Because the only way that we're going to learn is to talk about it and to get it out and to just do things and be in the energy and ask questions and grow. You know, that's how we grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just, yes. Knowledge is
Yay, healing.
power. Yeah. Knowledge is power and wisdom is what we share or something like that. But yeah. So, yay.
And that's important also to share, Santee. Like, a lot of people, they're doing this alone.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Yeah.
super lucky that we like found one another,
Yeah.
and it's
That's
beautiful
true.
that we can get weird with each other.
Yes.
So, guys, don't do this alone.
No.
Like, reach
You don't
out.
have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Not meant to.
Not crazy.
Community.
You're not
Yeah,
weird.
You're not crazy.
You're amazing.
Yeah, you are not crazy.
No.
No.
Probably psychic.
Probably psychic. Actually, yes.
Yes.
To the psychic. Yeah. Everybody has psychic
Exactly.
abilities.
Exactly.
Everybody does.
It's our natural state.
It's our natural state.
Thank you.
Yes. And by going within and healing yourself is literally going to bring you into this beautiful world you fit into.
Yeah,
You know, this lovely evolution of your soul. You know, it's going to bring you home, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
your gifts will
like,
shine.
yeah. For real.
Amazing.
Awesome. What else? I'm like, I don't even stop yet. This is fun.
Ooh, how did how did everybody get into their gifts? Like, how did it evolve for you?
I'll start. So when I was 3, no,
When I was born.
For real though, like I have memories from when I was little, and I literally would see stuff. I would hear things, and I would talk about it, and the reaction I would get from people they would just shut me down.
Yeah.
Shut me down, and I'm like, wait a second. Because I did grow up in the church also. However, when I went to church, it was Catholic. I felt spirit, and I loved the rituals and stuff like that. And so I was like, wait a second, this is weird, because I thought like God loves me and like I should be safe. Am I safe? Because there's this big scary thing right there, you know, or this dead look, whatever it is. So I went to the library. So I loved books. I loved books when I was younger. Not at 3. At 3, I remember, like, I almost died, actually. Maybe that's what triggered it. I actually almost died. I had an asthma attack, and somebody came to me and was like, go to your mother. And so I got up and I went out and I yanked on my mom's. She was playing cards with her friends. My mom and dad were, and I like tugged on her, and I just passed out. And I woke up in an oxygen tent in the hospital, and nobody could touch me or anything. And it was crazy and stuff. So maybe that's what did it. Who knows? I whatever it was, like, I do remember all of that. And so really, I would been on this journey as a kid because, you know, being in a religious family and stuff, I just wanted to make sure I was safe.
Yeah.
Because of the stuff that I saw was scary.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like pretending like I'm asleep, but I'm just like making sure I'm watching all these things so they're not like, you know, messing with me or whatever. I'm like, should I go to sleep yet? But also, you know, and then as a teenager, astrology offended me. I'm a Taurus. And so everything I read about Taurus was you're stubborn, you're materialistic, you're selfish, or whatever it was. And I'm like, am I?
I'm
not that, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the triggers that kind of shake you, you know. It throws things into chaos to create that change, that shift that is needed.
True.
So, yeah. I rabbit trailed.
That's great.
I'm like, yeah. So that's that. I do want to talk about that because I don't talk about that a lot. You know what I mean? Because of, you know, the feeling of, oh my God, they're going to think I'm crazy. Maybe I should go see. I've seen psychologists growing up, actually. You know, and yeah. But I have a witness now too. I'm married to this very wonderful man, and he is definitely my witness. So a lot of times that things happen, I'm like, hey, I tell him, and then, you know, confirmations come through. It could be like days, it could be years, honestly, when the confirmations, and it's like it's like a little light bulb to that big boom, will like blow your mind, you know?
The big puzzle.
Yeah, the spiral, you know, just, yeah.
Mine was just energy. I just knew that I had this energy about me, and I knew, like in high school, girls didn't like my energy. They were threatened by my energy, and I didn't know how to work with that. I didn't understand it. But growing up, there was always coincidences, you know, just confirmations, like certain numbers would show up. Like when my grandmother passed, my brother, who was very young at the time, had a suit, and inside of his pocket had the inspected by number, and that number was my grandmother's plot number that we were going to go bury her in.
Wow.
So there was always these little random things that would happen that it was like, oh, you know, we're being smiled. Yeah, we're being smiled upon. But so it wasn't until later that I understood energy through Reiki that I realized, oh, this is spirit talking to me, or energy is real, and you can kind of manipulate it to better your situation.
Yeah.
But I don't see ghosts. Only sometimes.
Not yet. Oh, only sometimes.
Just on Thursdays.
Yeah. They're only allowed to come through on Thursdays.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
But let's talk about your ghost.
Woo!
I think a lot of psychics were taught that it's clairvoyance, like you just see or you hear things. I think my gifts are definitely, have always been feeling. So ever since I was a kid, I would feel things without really knowing why. And as I got older, I started understanding like I was taking on other people's energies, being an empath. And that's something I think that's quite beautiful, at least in what I do for work, is you have to balance it. One, you can't just be taking on everybody's energy, right? And I think with Reiki as well, you're transmuting that. You're taking the energy of the person, transmuting it in your body.
Holding the space, yeah.
Exactly. So it's important to make sure that you're not keeping, you know, what isn't necessarily yours, but at the same time, that is how I'm psychic. I tune into the other person's higher self. I tune into their emotions, and that's why sometimes during readings I cry, even if the person isn't crying, because it's just, I just feel their love for their loved ones, or yeah. So for me, it's just been always feeling and trusting what I feel. And I mean, now it's just evolved into everything. I hear, I see, I feel, I know. It's everything. It's just all the things.
You sense.
Exactly.
Whatever, you know, whatever that sense is.
Exactly. It's all the senses. So that is beautiful with this line of work, is it's always evolving. We're always evolving.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and even though I don't see it per se, I know it.
You know it's right.
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly. And I'll be honest, I don't really see No, I do. I see. Never mind.
But seeing can also be like if you get this image in your head or a movie type image or a cartoon or you know, an animal comes through or whatever it is and you're just trusting your instincts.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, I'm at a point in where I feel like everything's coming online right now, and I'm putting pieces together as I look back in my childhood and you know, being an empath. I think I just realized that like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, that's what this is. You know, taking on other people's emotions, I struggled with depression most of my life. And now, you know, having done so much work and healing to come out the other side of it and understanding energy better and myself and those around me, it makes so much sense that I have been taking on as my own other people's energy and emotions, and I had no idea what I was doing, or that's what was happening. It was very, you know, a lot of self-judgment and feeling like, what's wrong with me?
Why am I eating this?
Why am I so angry? Yeah, I eat other people's anger, I've learned. Or, you know, like, just, that's a lot of undoing of the programs, too. The thinking patterns and the beliefs. So a lot of that is, in my healing work and journey right now, is undoing those beliefs and patterns. But I think I experienced all of it. The seeing, the feeling, definitely feeling my body lights up with, like, just waves of energy, the chills in very localized spots, which I've had to learn what that correlates to, what that means for me. Seeing, I've seen some dark energies since I was younger, and
knowing portals,
feeling energy, sensing it, seeing it, hearing it. So things are just becoming a little bit more consistent for me as I am getting puzzle pieces from you and from you and from you. And then, you know, that big aha moment, when the confirmations start coming from, you know, within and outside of myself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right. Well, how does that make you guys feel?
Ready to take on the day.
Right. Woo! Yeah. All right. So thank you guys. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is great. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you guys next Friday, 11:11 Pacific Standard Time. You can go to mamasanteeshouse.com and subscribe to our email so you can keep up with us. Also, please like and follow all of the socials and stuff. You can even send us a DM and be like, talk about this or something. And we would love to talk about that. So, all right. We love everybody so much. Thank you for joining us. See you again later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now I gotta go up to the camera and like press stop. Okay.
And boop.
And
bloopers.
Stop.
And
how do I download? Okay, well, how do I stop this one? That? Oh yeah.